Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create that moody look in your photographs using Lightroom. The photo we're using today is one I shot of Donna in this bamboo forest. This is the straight out of camera raw file, and with a moody, dramatic edit applied in Lightroom, this is what it looks like afterwards. It does kind of help to have a dark image to start with. It lends itself more towards that moody look, but you can pretty much use any photo to achieve the same effect. Let's dive into Lightroom and I'll show you what I did. We'll start over here in the basic tab and I'll bring the exposure up just a little bit. I'll also add some contrast and I'll bring the shadows up pretty much all the way just to get this detail out of the bamboo. I'll bring my whites up, probably to about there, and I'll drop my highlights just to even out her skin, maybe about there. Definitely going to add a little bit of clarity just to add a little bit of punch. Next we'll move on to the tone curve. I like to do a simple little S curve with a fade in the blacks just to give that filmic look, something right about there. The next thing I'd like to do is just bring out some of the detail in Donna's face and hair and just brighten her up a little bit. So I'm going to come over and use my radial filter. Just bring that up a little bit. Say about 1. Bring up the shadows a little bit just to bring out some of that detail in the hair. And I'm going to drop the highlights just a little bit so we don't make her face too contrasty. I'm going to make that quite a soft feather, something about there. Might just boost the exposure just a little more. That's looking good. Next, I'm going to come over to my adjustment brush and I'm going to brighten up her face just a little bit. Just going to paint some of that in just over her face. You can hit O to show your overlay, just to make sure you're covering all those areas. Hit O again for it to disappear. Just going to bring that up a little bit. Something about there looks good. The next thing I want to do is just darken this bit of bamboo in her hand. There's a bit too much light on there, so it draws focus away from her face. So I'll come in here, just paint that in again. I can hit O to get my overlay, and I can just sort of paint that in roughly like that. I don't want to darken it too much, something about there just so that it looks natural, and I think that is good. The last little adjustment to the exposure on her face that I'd like to do is just to brighten up her eye. So I'm going to come in here with the adjustment brush again, make it really small, probably about a full stop of exposure here. I'm just going to paint in her eye. I'll add a little bit of contrast, and I think that is good. So you can see before these brush adjustments, that's what it looked like, and afterwards, that's what it looks like. We've just put a little bit more emphasis on her face, taken away that distracting light on this piece of bamboo, and I think that looks much better. The next thing I'm going to do is jump into the HSL tab, and I'm going to come over here, let's just display all, and I'm going to shift these yellows over towards the green. Sometimes the yellows can have quite a big impact on the tone of your greens. So I'm just going to make that small adjustment there. And the next thing I'd like to do is really pull out the saturation of the green. That's going to really help with this moody look that we're going for. I'm going to drop a little bit of saturation in the yellow because her skin is a little bit too much. Same with the orange. Now her skin's a little bit too desaturated for me. And I might just add a little bit of saturation in the red just to bring the color out in her lips and in her nails here. Maybe that's a little much. I'll just dial it back just a tad. Something like that looks good. Next I'm going to boost the luminance of the yellow slider just a little bit, just to bring a little bit more brightness to her skin and parts of her hair. And I'm going to drop the luminance of the green just to make the green bamboo bits a little bit darker. Already this image has got a really nice moody feel to it. There's just a couple more tweaks I'd like to make. I'm going to set the amount of sharpening here to 50, and the luminance I'm probably going to set to about 20 and color about 15. That's just my personal preference. It has nothing to do with the moody look itself, but it gives you an idea of how I would edit this image. My second last step is to come down to the calibration. There's just a little bit I'd like to do here in terms of the colors. I'm going to adjust the shadow tint here a little bit towards green, just to really get that green in the dark areas of this image. I want to bring out some of the red, make it a little more orange, but bring some of that out in her skin and her lips. Actually go quite a bit further here. I'm going to shift the green a little bit more this way, quite a bit actually. It's starting to look a bit strange. I'm going to desaturate there. But don't worry, the blue primary is where this is all going to balance out. We'll bring that in roughly there. And that's looking good. Let's just show you before the camera calibration and after. Just brings a little more greeny blue tones out into this bamboo area, and it just makes the color on her face look a little more natural in my opinion. And my last step is to put a vignette on, just so that I can draw the attention here on her face. I'm going to bring that down roughly there. I don't want to make it too dark. Somewhere there. Make it a little rounder just to affect the top and the bottom a little more. Dial that back just a tad. And there you have it. That is a moody looking image. Here's the before and the after. So you can see we've done a whole lot of adjustments to the color. We've really sort of changed the exposure here on her face to bring attention to her face and especially to her eye. And that's how I go about editing moody images in Lightroom. If you found this video helpful and you use any of these tips on your own photographs, please tag us on Instagram. We'd love to see it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. Hit the notification bell so you know when we post new videos. Follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you guys in the next video.